Another powerful motion control feature is trajectories. I'm going to drop a sphere in my top view, and I'm going to do a quick keyframe animation so we can talk about this motion controlling aspect. I'm going to move my sphere around for a couple keyframes, and then I'm going to adjust the trajectory, which is the path that it follows. The trajectory is the visible version of the motion path. Okay, so let's take a look at this in the perspective view. My sphere moves around the way I've asked it to, based on a certain path, and it's going between the frames based on Bezier curves. And I can check this by going to the Motion panel, and I go to the Position Transform. You can see it says Bezier Position. Now we know that we can assign a path to this by adding a controller and selecting Path. And we can change the way that it interpolates by selecting another interpolation method like linear, so it goes linearly between these points. We can also, when I click OK here, we can also click on the Trajectories button to see the path that this object follows. When I press Stop, you can see it in all the other views. And I can actually click on the Sub-Object button to edit the keys. So I can physically move these points around in space and change the path of my object. So this trajectory tool is a very powerful way to control the way objects move through space. And then I can press play again and see how my trajectory looks now. Now when I have a trajectory like this, I can delete a specific key by selecting it and hitting the delete key. Or I can add a key by clicking on the Add Key button and just clicking on the path, and it's a key wherever I click. Now I can click off Add Key by clicking it again, and then continue to edit it with the new keys. So now I could go here in my perspective view and make every other key raise up in the air. So instead of going in a circle, it'll sort of wobble up and down along the circle. Right-click in the perspective view on one of these points and select Transform Z. So I can move every other point up or down. Now when I press play, my sphere wobbles up and down along the circle. You can use trajectories to adjust the path that objects take through space using the Trajectories rollout and the Trajectories button under the Motion panel. You can also convert this path to and from splines. So now that this motion path is set the way I want it to, I can create a shape out of it, a 2D spline. Or I can select a spline and convert it to a motion path.